Good day, people from around the world. Welcome to another episode of Cheddar Dogs. Today, we've got our boy PD in the house. Welcome, PD. Good to have you
Oh,
on the show for a
easy,
change.
brother from another mother. What's happening?
Welcome. All good in the hood. Are you well?
Good, man. Good. Lekker. Very good. Happy, excited. I see
Yes,
you've got a
yes.
nice screen here today with a lot of greenery and cheddar and coins. And all I can think of is there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And so,
Oh, no,
what is our
absolutely.
bone of contention today? Tell us. What is the topic?
Today's bone of contention is passive income, right? How to
Passive.
get it? How do we get it? Is it really free? Do we have to work for it? So this is a quite interesting topic as passive income, as you know, is not something you actually work for and do your thing and earn by the hour, so to say. You're not on the clock. You're not being watched. You don't answer to anyone. This is
Yes.
something completely different, but is happening, and I think for viewers out there, who don't know what it is and don't know how to get it, it might be informative to bring this concept to them and say, listen, you work in your everyday job, even if you do have a side hustle, how about getting your money to work for you?
Yes! Yeah! Oh, better luck next time, buddy! Woo!
And I was wondering what sort of examples could you just lay out there as just quickly, what is passive income? How do we get it? And what examples are there to do it? Surely there's not just one form of it. And then if you don't fit that description, you out the picture.
Yeah.
So break it down for us, PD, please.
So, Awizi, if I jump straight into it, the first two concepts I think about when it comes to passive income is return on investment. You need to put money into something, and whatever you get back, there must be more than what you put in. There must be a return of some sort, you're bearing the fruit of your labor, where you're putting your money into this, whatever it may be, and we can talk about those instruments, and you can therefore be earning this passive income, extra income, which will add value to your overall, let's call it your net worth. All right.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
that's 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 the first concept. All right.
All right.
Second
I like
concept
it.
is risk versus return. That is the next concept. Risk and return. Remember, the higher the risk, the more return you want. So the more riskier whatever you put in your money in, you're expecting a higher return because of the risk. It goes hand in hand. So the more money or the more risk or more sketchy or whatever, or if it's a brand new company and you're putting your money in, you want not the same amount of money that you'd earn in banking, in an interest-bearing account.
Absolutely.
You would want a
Sure.
lot more because of the risk that you're putting into it. So
In
those are
other
the
words, to
two.
make it worth my while.
100%. So that's exactly, those are the two concepts that come to mind when you talk about passive income. So, and those are your factors that you need to consider.
Okay.
And
That's for any form of whatever instrument you get into that you need to pay
exactly,
upfront.
100%,
That's what I need.
100%.
Okay.
So we can look at passive income in different forms. There's investment property, where you buy property and you obviously you get a tenant involved. You charge them a rental, and you're making some money based on that passive income. All right.
Okay.
The next
Okay.
one is leaving your money in a fixed deposit account or in an interest-bearing account in whatever bank, and it's earning interest. That
Earning
is
interest.
passive
Okay.
income. Okay.
All right.
The next one is that I can think of is royalties. So you're a musician, you've spent time, you spend your effort, you come up with the next big hit, and that's going to be played on the top 40 on Spotify or wherever, Apple Music, and you hit the big times, and people pay you royalties. These platforms
Hey.
or wherever pay you
Okay.
royalties for your song, which is the passive income I can think of. The other thing, which is also which, yeah. So
You get the idea.
I think we can look at other income streams, but and see whether they are classified as passive income or not. I know government grants. That's something that's always come up. People ask, is it passive income? So obviously, maybe you can maybe delve into that a bit later and just tell us what you think in that regard. But I think the primary ones that we should talk about today is your investment properties and obviously your interest bearing account. I think
So
that's
investments, yes.
investments.
I
Shares.
think yes, and I
Sorry,
think
Louise,
I think
I forgot about the shares. Mentioned the
yes.
government grant. The other element of passive income I want to discuss was shares, equities, is buying and selling in shares. That's
Okay.
something I would also like to just touch on later on in the show.
Sure, sure. But I think the aim that we're getting here with passive income is that your investment or your effort that you've put into this thing is once off, right?
Yes,
You've bought the
yes,
property or you've bought the share one time, right?
that's
And
it. That's
the
it.
beauty with the passive income is the income is recurring. So as you rent your property out, you're getting rent every single month that there's a tenant staying there and paying your rent. Same with the shares. Whenever yearly, when that company pays dividends, you're getting your dividends every year that you've had your money invested in that company. And
That's
the same
right.
with buying shares. You're trying to buy at the cheapest possible price, sell at the highest possible price. Um, and there's no effort involved there. It's really just a click of a button or two.
What are you doing? I'm the space traveler here, and I happen to know that that particular button is right over here.
So you're really not working for this money, but you have put effort and money into it, but it's not your physical. I'm working for my money 9 to 5. An hour worked is an hour earned. um, and so forth.
I would actually classify it as your second stream of income. That's what passive income is, because your mainstream would be your salary, your job, where you earn your primary income, your salary, and that money that you put, whatever you're able to save, if one is even able to these days,
In today's
in the
world,
tough times we're in. Yeah, exactly. To take that and push that into your secondary stream of income, where these other categories we just mentioned, your properties, your shares, etc., and the like, and earn additional income and revenue from that in the long term. I think that is where we're headed with this conversation.
okay, okay. Well, I like it. I like it. Getting money for not doing much. I think that's
That's it.
that's that's something anybody wants to hear and get involved in.
So I think
But
I
I
think yeah. Sorry,
sure.
Louise.
But I think there's a very different classification with which you mentioned government grants and how that works. Yes, you're getting money for not doing anything, but one has to stress the point that a government grant is not really a form of passive income in the sense that it's merely a handout. It's not even a hand up because the amount is so low.
Spongy? Ach, Schwamm drüber. Sponge?
And it's really just the government saying, we are so sorry of your situation, and here's a little bit of something. Take it and do what you can, and good luck. Whereas with your other passive income, your properties and investments, these are things you are actively involved in, and you are trying to make a success of it. But as you mentioned, the risk and reward. How risky is this? Can I lose my money? Can I lose everything? And you need to be compensated accordingly for that level of risk.
But Owizi, even if the government grants, and that's the thing, is that, remember, it's not sitting somewhere where it's earning additional income. It's a handout. It's a CSI from the government, and unfortunately, that amount is so little that it's hardly enough to survive. You know what I mean? But it
Sure.
does not constitute passive income. So I think that
Yes,
we've eliminated that. So maybe
absolutely. So let's get
maybe
that off the
we
table.
let's jump into it. Let's jump straight in. And I would like to talk about investment property. I think investment
Great.
property is a great opportunity for anyone that wants passive income. However, there's
And
certain
PD, it's something we can all relate to, you know?
yeah, for sure. Where you need a roof over your head. You're either going to own it or you're going to rent it. Okay, and that plays a critical role. But I think as an investor, it's important to look at certain factors. Number one, yes, if the bank's prepared to give you the money to buy investment property, don't just think you can buy anywhere. Location, location, location. And I don't know how many times I've said this. It is very important to understand, yes, you could maybe earn a rental wherever you buy a property, but think of the long term. Think you're going to devalue your property if you're buying in a bad area where the crime is bad, or where things are, you know what I'm saying, where there's no
Unstable,
infrastructure or it's unstable. You're going to lose value. So you might be buying that property and earning some rental, but you're also going to be dealing with tenants that are bad paying tenants. Other issues that you don't want to even deal with, that you wish you never even purchased a property in the first place. So that is very important, is location, location, location. Yes. And secondly, when you're buying, it's important to, and we're not going to dig into the details of obviously this, but know that if you have an investment property, try not to pay that property off too quickly. If you've bonded it, you've taken out a mortgage bond on that property, you know what? If you're earning a rental, you can actually claim the interest against the income, which obviously
wow,
helps you. Yeah,
nice.
which actually helps you from a tax perspective, that you can claim those benefits of the interest. However, in the house that you live in, that you own, you cannot claim that interest because it's not considered investment property. So that's very important element. But investment property, it's great. It's a great thing. And what's nice is you can use the bank's money or funding, any funder or institution. They can use their money to obviously buy a property which is bonded. And then if you're earning more rentals going down the line, you can actually then purchase a second, third, fourth property. And that's that way you leverage off the debt, the bank's debt, the funding, and build a portfolio of properties. As long as you still got equity, and when I say equity, you've got it's a difference between your asset value and the debt. What's the property worth and the liability? How much do you owe? So if there's a positive difference on that, that's called equity. And the greater that equity is, the more you'll be able to leverage off that and get additional funding to buy your second, your third, your fourth property. And this is how these property, these tycoons, this is how they operate. They use other people's money and they make money.
Okay.
But it is risky, and obviously the return needs to be much higher than that, leaving it in the bank.
Okay, so that's how the guys like Trump and Robert Kiyosaki have done these multi-conglomerate property portfolios, where I think they wrote in the region of 7,000 properties. And I think that's where it all started, was with that first one. So. And once again, it's still under the umbrella of passive income. So you're generating the income, you have an expense. So not the full passive income is taxed, because there are expenses that once again need to be netted off for the taxman to be the judge of.
100%.
Wow.
Correct.
That's really that's mind blowing, PD. Really, I don't know anyone who would not want to jump into that. But like you say, you got to do your homework. You got to check out the areas. You got to know what you're in for, how to deal with banks, how to negotiate. So those are all extra skills that you would need to equip yourself with along the way.
Exactly. And negotiate your interest rate. Don't just stick to one funding institution. Go to multiple banks. That's why you get bond originators. They do that for you. Fight for the best interest rate. Because that interest rate, when the interest rates go up as they are right now, that can really bite you badly. Give you leave a lot of scars. So it's important to fight for the best interest rate that you possibly can and progress through that.
So if I'm not prepared, that will affect my passive income, and that's something I need to be aware of. Okay.
Yes, in the long term. Yes, yes. Second thing, Weezy, I want to discuss is shares.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people out there say, "Oh, but I'm not a share trader. I don't know anything about. I can't. I don't know. I don't go study stockbroking or whatever the case may
Yes,
be."
absolutely.
You don't have to. This is the thing. I learned the hard way.
Emotional damage.
I'm speaking from personal experience. I bought into an endowment with some big funding institution. I paid X amount of money for 5 years, thinking I was going to make some real nice money, and I walked away with literally nothing. I was told no. All that money that I actually made was towards commission for the agents that was dealing with it, and that I need to leave it for another 5 years before I leave money. Now, like for me, being a layman, that doesn't make sense. So I look for other ways, and there are actual platforms out there. Wherever you are in the world, there are platforms where you can trade nationally, internationally, by yourself. You can do the trade. You can buy the share. You can sell the share whenever you want to sell the share. And again, you don't need.
So if I understand correctly, you're talking specifically about company shares. We're not talking about crypto and Bitcoin and this coin and that coin. This is just purely share trading.
We can talk cryptos and all that as well, but I don't want to focus too much on that because that's a bit of a sensitive issue for me at this stage. Is cryptos, because it's a little bit technical. But let's talk companies. We're talking like your big list, like the Microsofts, the Apples, the Coca-Colas. Yeah, exactly. So these are the type of companies. You can buy a share in that company, hold on to it. It will either gain in capital value. In other words, you buy it for $1 now, and so now they find a new product that they're going to launch. It creates an expectation, and it increases the share price. And all of a sudden, that share price is now standing at $2 per share. You understand? Because of perception. But at the same time, you're getting that capital growth, but also earning a dividend every year. When they declare their profits, they say everyone gets X amount of cents to the share. If you earn one share, you get a dividend, which is great. So you actually have two forms of passive income coming in there. You've got the capital gains and the dividends every year.
But what I would be right in saying that capital gain is unrealized, as it's there, but you can't cash it out until you've actually sold the share.
Correct. So until you sell the shares, then only do you realize that gain or loss.
Okay.
But the dividend I get regardless whether I sell the share or not.
Based on the number of shares that you had at that specific point.
Okay. Yes, I'm with you.
100%. And that is very important. So anyone can do it. There's lots of material out there. Google Finance. Anyway, just read the news. Understand what's happening in the markets. That's all you have to do. Just spend 30 minutes a day, read what's happening out there, test the markets, see what's happening. And I promise you, one can buy and sell your own shares and build a whole portfolio for yourself. It is that easy. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. So it is
you're saying, look at your daily news. I mean, I don't have to go download the company's financial statements, read the whole corporate governance statement and what they are and who they've hired and who they fired and key man and all of that. And I can just follow the trend of what's happening. See, and as you say, test the waters. I don't need to spend hours researching.
Unfortunately, it would have been nice to be sponsored by Google for this episode. But I use Google Finance, and I leave it open on my screen, and it gives you an update of all the shares. You can create your own little watch list of the shares that you're interested in buying in, whether it's local, overseas, wherever. You can, and you watch how it goes. Any news, any good news means the price goes up. Bad news, price goes down. If you look, COVID, as soon as the 19th, 20th of March came, 2020, all the shares dropped dramatically. If you bought shares at then and you sold them now, you'd be making close to 70 to 100% profit on your share.
Really?
And that's a fact. Wow. That's a fact. So you need to look at every single element in this world, all factors, interest rates, global epidemics, you name it, everything that will affect how this company trades, and you make that decision. It is a gamble, but it's a calculated gamble. Please know that it's calculated. As long as you're doing research and you know what you're doing, you're not just selecting black or red in the casino. It's calculated. You know what you're doing. Okay. So that's what I have to say in shares. Yeah. Great. So those are the two elements that I have a serious passion for. The third thing, Oweezy, is you got a whole stash of cash, which we wish we had. What do you do with that cash?
Precious.
Do you put it?
Yes. What?
You're going to put it into the bank. Are you going to earn money from it? How are you going to
know? Very, very small return,
Well, that's
it
where
isn't even worth my while.
Now, you see, that's why research is important. There are means and ways of checking what institutions give the best rates. And with Google and everything out there, there's ways of finding that out. Do your research. You can leave your money in the bank. You could be earning 6% and you think you're a hero. Meantime, you could be putting it somewhere else and you could be earning 10, 11%. If only you did the research. Look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves, guys. It's important. Every cent counts. Every cent counts. You need to manage your money. Don't just leave it and forget about it. That's the worst thing, the most negligent thing anyone can do. Always keep an eye on the buck, so to speak. No pun intended. You need to know where your money is, how it's performing. It is critical. Easy, and that's why these guys with 30 months, they need to manage. Move it. If you're earning a better interest rate elsewhere, move it out of that investment account and move it to a better investment. That's passive income management. You're managing how your money is earned. That extra 1%, 2%, trust me, will make the difference.
Will make a difference.
Compounded interest is great, but it makes a difference. So keep your eye on the ball. All right, always.
So what you're saying is slow and steady wins the race.
That's it. And those are the three categories that I wanted to focus on in this episode, because I believe that's the easiest. Let's call it one of the three easiest means of earning passive income. I would say from my personal opinion.
Well, it's definitely something we can all relate to. Those are very relatable incidences, each one of them. So thank you for elaborating on that.
But obviously for me, the only thing that my biggest fear, I'm a fearless dog. I don't fear much. But what I do fear is not having money in my days of retirement, not having enough money so that I cannot. So I still want to live a good life. I still want my end of days. I need to know I've got money put aside so that I can look after myself, my family, my loved ones. That I'm there. That I don't have to still slog and do whatever and to generate money at the age of 85 or whatever the case may be. I want to enjoy life, and that's why it starts now. Whether you're 10 years old, whether you're 15 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, the time is now. Save, build that money, build that passive income. It's never too late, but always think long term. Think of what you have. Think of, is it something when you want to buy something, think, do I need it or do I want it? There's a big difference between needing something and you get what I'm saying? There's a big difference. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't, because it can backfire. Live the life that you want as long as you're happy, and do that carefully and manage your life, manage your money, and just do your research. That's all I have to say for the rest of this episode.
Well, there you've heard it from the dog's mouth himself, PD, an actual investor, speaking from personal experience. That's very big of you, PD. I like that you've actually seen this in your own life and can relate to people out there to say, this does work, this doesn't work. Try this, look at this. Get your finance house in order. Take care, and let the money work for you. Like perfectly what you said. Look after the cents, and the pounds are going to look after you in your older days. I love that. Well done. Thank you so much.
And if you're not sure, speak. You speak to your friends. Speak to someone that can advise. There are people that think the same way, that can advise you, that are doing pretty much what you want to do. And speak to people. Open your mouth. get guidance from get other people's opinion. Maybe you've done your research, but then someone else has a different opinion. Take their opinion and work with it. See if it will only help you make the right decision at the end, regardless of where you want to invest your money. If you understand where I come from.
100%. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
easy.
Pete, thank you so much. PD, my main man, laid it down like he should, spoken like a true champ, delivered like a true champ, invested like a true champ.
You're still trying.
Yes,
Still trying.
let's get that passive income. Let's get money to work for us for a change instead of us always working for money.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to bid our farewells. PD, is anything else you'd like to just hit up to our viewers?
Just tell the global familia that, you know what, whatever we're putting here, whatever we're saying here, it's here to help you. Use it, don't use it, but listen. Just listen. Maybe there's something in it here for you that's going to open your eyes, and maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel and you realize, you know what, that actually makes sense. And hopefully we can inspire you through these videos and get you on the right track.
Thank you, PD. Well, peeps, I think that's well said, well spoken, well delivered. I really can't add anything more to that. But besides, stay away from the government grants and become your own person. You can do it. We all can do it. And I'm just gonna say that this is PD and Weezy saying, go well and take it easy.
Take it easy. Cheers.
3, 2, 1.